My name is Ezekiel Nabayan, and this is my persuasive speech. I started off my semester at college at 17 years old, and luckily I was supported by my great grandmother who was paying for me to go to college. She did the same for my older sister, and she's going to be doing the same for my younger siblings as well when they meet college. And although community college is typically considered somewhat affordable, that's not exactly the truth for everybody who goes to college, especially community college. Compared to a 4 year, obviously the expenses are a lot lower, but that doesn't mean that everything is free because it's definitely not. And there are a few ways that a lot of college students who start their first semester get into massive debt, going into student loan debt, and ending up not being able to pay tuition fees, not being able to pay for their classes, and it ends up putting them in a really bad financial spot just coming out of the gate of high school into their first semester in college. So I wanted to go over a few ways that could definitely help that problem, if not kind of solve it in a way, being a college student who went through financial struggles in his first semester as well, and who's also right now honestly kind of going through some financial struggles in college. So I did a little bit of research, and financially I was able to come up with a few ideas that would be able to help students this way. Um, a student named Mylan Brown at University of Findlay, which is a private college in Ohio, had wrote a small article about how students at their school felt about their financial situations while being at that college. And in the second section of their article, they state that nationally, more than half of college students report feeling stressed about their finances, and 65% of students worry about having enough money to pay for school, according to the Trellis Strategies 2024 Student Financial Wellness Survey that was taken at the University of Findlay. Um, the author had also stated in a later section, quoting a student named Will Kurtz, who is a student at Findlay, saying that he, quote, put 70% away in savings and used the other 30% for whatever he wanted. He said he had also found out ways to save money when he had to do things like eat. Um, in quotes, it is stated that he said, "Personally, for me, it was fast food my freshman year. I avoid that now by meal prepping my own food for the week, which saves me money." There was a few other facts in this article, quotes from other students and even a professor who had talked about ways that students could save money in their first couple college semesters, and I all found it really, really useful and information really important. I personally meal prep food, so that helps cut down on costs for the month. I probably go around $200 at the grocery store just stocking up on food for the month, and that helps me save a lot more money than I used to spend on food monthly. I found that opening certain bank accounts can help you save a lot of money. I personally go to Valley Strong Credit Union. It's a local credit union in my hometown, and there's a bank account called the Simple Saver where you can lock away a certain amount of money. It's kind of just whatever you put into it for either 6 months or a year. So I chose to go with the 1 year route. So next year I will have whatever money I've saved up locked away and put up until that next year comes around for me to access it. Certain things like that will definitely be able to help students save a lot more money. Doing that personally, I'm going to use a lot of that money to help pay for me to go through the fire academy. So it's really important that monthly I have around $150 that's automatically put from my checks into that account, and it helps me just save a lot of money. Um, I also had looked into and researched budgeting apps. I found that there is a certain app called Copilot that's really, really organized. If you connect it to your bank accounts directly, then you'll find all the information about the money that you make and spend will be on that app. And then it can help you budget for paying your bills at the end of the month or during any time of the month. It'll help you put aside money for food, put aside money for essentials that you need like body wash and conditioner and shampoo, stuff like that. It'll help you budget all the money based off the money that you make from your checks coming into your bank accounts, and it'll take all the information based on basically what you spend and what you make in a month, how much you could budget, and then how much you could save at the end of the month. All in all, I think that this is probably a really relatable struggle that a lot of college students have. I would highly recommend trying to open some type of good savings account at a bank. trying to be able to find a way to lock away the money that you put into it until a certain amount of time until you can access it again, because then it forces you to save a lot of money without touching it. And I would highly recommend starting to cut corners in places that you spend a lot in, like meal prepping for food. If you're somebody who's heavy into shopping for clothes and you know you have a really bad addiction, I find that thrifting helps a lot because then you're saving a lot of money, not spending a lot on clothes. And also getting into a budgeting app, trying to find some kind of way that you can organize all of your expenses, everything from what you make to how much you save a month. And I think it'll all really help with saving a lot of money while in college.